Hey, this is Mike, and before you watch any of this video, for reasons that I'm going to explain in the actual video itself, I actually pre-recorded this before I edited it all together completely. Uh, I've become so bad at TF2 because I haven't been on in a long time that I actually had to resort to playing in offline mode with bots. So, no, just I know I'm really bad at the game if I do that, but I was trying to get clips for this video and I just couldn't go on a single pub server without being killed every 2 seconds. Like it was just awful. Like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get any good footage, so I had to play with bots. So I hope you don't mind that. I just wanted to demonstrate what these weapons can do and how I can use them to their full extent. So sorry about that, but anyways, just roll the video. Before I say anything, I'll regret. Hey guys, this is Mike, and I am finally back with another Team Fortress 2 video, and to think, you guys thought I was dead. Well, I'm not. I'm right here. I uploaded this, and if the gameplay you see on screen in this video is really bad, I apologize for that. It's just that I haven't been playing Team Fortress 2 recently. In fact, I haven't been on my computer all that much recently because school has been getting a lot more demanding now that it's the end of the year. Like, there's all these exams and all these finals. It's stressful. Like, it's a lot to do. And if you understand, that's great. But anyways, I'm slurring up my words already. That's not what this video is gonna be about. It's gonna be about my top 18 personal favorite weapons in Team Fortress 2. Now, take note that I said my personal favorites, so if my opinion is wrong, I'm very sorry about that. And also, the Market Gardener isn't in this list, so you can take your sandwich and eat it. So this is gonna be only part 1, so stay tuned for part 2 of this list. So in this list, I'm only gonna have 2 weapons for each class, hence 18. So with that, let's just get started. At number 18 is the Kritzkrieg for the medic. The Kritzkrieg was released as the very first non-stock minigun to ever exist in the game in the Gold Rush update way back in 2008. It builds Ubercharge at a 25% faster rate than that of the stock minigun, and its Ubercharge allows whoever you're healing to deal critical hits. Always. While this seems amazing at first, this minigun, unlike others, doesn't give any damage protection with its Ubercharge. It just grants crits. So basically, don't use this thing on offense, because let's face it, there's bound to be at least one sentry nest on the other team. Since buildings are immune to critical hits, this thing is pretty much useless against them in every regard. However, the reason I like this weapon is because if you're on defense and you charge a high DPS class like Soldier or Demoman, you will just wreak havoc on large groups of enemies. When your team sees that you cleared an entire area of 6 enemies or so, you, the Kritzkrieg medic, can turn to your teammates and proudly say, "You see that? I did that." Well, I mean, I sort of did it. I was healing the guy who did it, but if he didn't have crits, he wouldn't have done it. And it's all thanks to the Kritzkrieg. At number 17 is the Your Eternal Reward for the Spy. The Your Eternal Reward was released in the Man Economy update in 2010 as part of the Spy's polycount set, the Saharan Spy. I honestly don't know where to start with this weapon. Just everything about it is so awesome. When you backstab someone with this knife, you disguise as them, and really quickly too. I mean, sure, it makes you do what a real spy is supposed to do, and take everyone on the other team as your disguises, but it just offers a completely new way to play spy. Many times as a spy, I tend to disguise as the same class over and over and over again. Either that or I end up using a bad disguise choice. but with the Your Eternal Reward, that's no longer a problem for me. I can backstab a medic healing a heavy, the heavy will turn around and be relieved because his medic is still there. The heavy turns back and around to shoot some more and goes about his business, and then he's fine. But his medic backstabs him in the spine and turns his corpse invisible, so that's interesting. Next at number 16 is the family business for the heavy. The family business was released in the Uber update in 2011 and was the only non-stock secondary for the heavy at the time that wasn't edible. Despite this usually being a less desirable weapon for some, despite the damage reduction, this thing actually has more damage per tube than the stock shotgun, assuming you don't miss. According to the official TF2 wiki site, the maximum amount of damage one shot from the shotgun can deal, assuming it's not a crit, is 60. That's a mere 9 damage more than the family business's max damage, which if you're bad with math, is 51. So 60 times 6 is 360, while 51 times 8 is 480. So really, if your aim is good, the only downside for this weapon isn't that big of a deal. Now if they only increase the reload speed. Reload speed. At number 15 is the Scorch Shot for the Pyro. The Scorch Shot was released in the Pyromania update in 2012. Now before you call me a f***ing idiot for putting this in the list, let me just say that while this weapon's stats aren't the best, it is a ton of fun to use for messing around, and also fun to flare jump with. Yes, that's right, flare jump. If you crouch jump and shoot this weapon at your feet, you can jump significantly higher than you would without this flare gun. It's just so fun to use, and isn't having fun the whole reason we play this game. Oh, it's also good for crowd control, that too. At number 14 is the Cleaner's Carbine for the sniper, or carbine if you want to pronounce it the way they do over in Britain land. Something, I don't know. But the Cleaner's Carbine, as of right now, is the only non-stock SMG that the sniper has. It was released in the Pyromania update in 2012 as part of a set. Again, not usually someone's favorite weapon, but I like it. And remember, this is a list of my personal favorites. The main reason I like this weapon is because of the way they last changed it. At first, this weapon gave you 3 seconds of full-on critical hit chance upon killing someone with it. At this point, it could and may as well have been completely useless, because there are rarely any circumstances where you can actually make any use of those crits before they wear off. But now this was changed so that instead of getting crits for 3 seconds on a kill, you now get 8 seconds of mini crits. I mean, sure, mini crits aren't nearly as good as crits, but at least people have time to use them now. Plus, the mini crits feel so rewarding once you actually kill someone. Also, when this weapon is paired with the Bushwhacker, you can get 1 kill with the Cleaner's Carbine, and you can just go on a huge face mutilating spree. At number 13 is the Crusader's Crossbow for the medic. It was released on 2010 in the Australian Christmas update. I love this weapon not only for hurting, but it's for healing too. That, and it has insanely higher range and damage than a normal syringe gun. With a bit of practice, you'll find yourself really enjoying this weapon. It allows you to heal people that are just outside of your medigun's range and need to be healed desperately. Although, one thing about this weapon's stats that I don't really understand is the no headshots part. I don't even remember the stock syringe gun even having a headshot mechanic. So that's weird. But still, I can't stress enough how awesome this crossbow is. At number 12 is the Rescue Ranger for the Engineer. It was released in 2012 in the Mecha update, and in the same update, it introduced more content for the newly added Man vs. Machine mode. Well, I mean, it's not new now, but it was at the time. So why did I bring MBM into this? It's because this weapon is quite possibly the best weapon an engineer could have in MBM, with the Frontier Justice at a close second. But I'm not talking about MBM with this weapon. I'm talking about the fact that this thing is incredible. As an engineer, there have been many times where my sentry is put under heavy fire, and I hardly have enough metal to repair it from the damage it's taking. However, if you have the Rescue Ranger, you don't need metal, because when you shoot your sentry or your dispenser with this gun, it actually heals it. Without having to use metal, too, so that's amazing. This means that you can heal your sentry efficiently, at a long distance, and without having to use metal. That, and it can teleport your sentry to you if it's too far away to be picked up, which is ridiculously awesome in my opinion. Like, you'll never know when that's going to be useful. Like, you won't have time to go pick up your sentry. There's like 3 heavies firing it at once. No, as long as given that you have a lot of metal, you can just pull it out of there before it gets destroyed, and then not lose all that hard time and work that you put into building it. At number 11 is the Tide Turner for the Demo Man. It was released in the Love and War update in 2014, and despite its somewhat recent nerf, I still love to use it a lot. The first thing I like about the shield is that it gives you complete turning control when you charge, hence its name, the Tide Turner. Then, when it's combined with the Clawheem Moor, once you kill someone when your charge is taking place, you will be immediately able to charge again once you get said kill. But if you don't use the Clawheem Moor like I do, then this only refills 3/4 of your charge meter, and not all of it. But when you come to think of it, it's not really that much of a difference. It's only like a few seconds off, like not even a second actually. In addition, this shield actually negates the usefulness of the wee booties. So this shield allows you to have a grenade launcher, but still have the turn control the wee booties would give you. It is by far the best demo shield in the game, and I absolutely love it. At number 10 is the Equalizer for the Soldier. Hold on, just hear me out for a minute. The Equalizer was released in the War update back in 2009. Later on, in 2012, Valve split this item into the Equalizer and the Escape Plan. Now in this spot on the list, I'm covering the Equalizer and not the Escape Plan. The Equalizer, what it essentially does is that it deals more damage the more you're injured, but it blocks medics from healing you when you have it out. So really, the only downside to this weapon doesn't really matter, because if you're low on health, and you have the Equalizer out, chances are the last thing you want is to be healed by a medic. So this isn't much of a downside as it looks. Well, there is a 50% damage decrease on this thing if you're at full health, but if you use this weapon to its full extent, then you'll only use it at low health. That and its taunt kill is just amazing, so let's not forget that. He takes a grenade off of his strap, finally uses it, but he just blows himself up. Like the one situation where he actually puts use to those grenades on his strap to him, and he blows himself up with it. But it's still amazing, nonetheless. So this has been part 1 of my top 18 favorite weapons in TF2. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. And, yeah, I think that's all. Till then, this is Mike signing off. Peace.
Tactical nuke incoming!